What about some other information? Now that first one may be good. It may not help you 100% though. There could be some stuff missing from that graphical user interface. So now we look at the command prompt. There's actually some other commands or another command that I like to run quite regularly when I'm having a computer that is being problematic to pick up some group policies. So again, we're doing this from our domain controller directly, but you will do this on the problem computer. Go to that problem computer, that problem PC, that server that's not picking up those group policies, and we run it in there. So we're gonna go into the start menu, and I like to run my command prompt as an administrator, just as out of good practice, because that way I've got full permissions into it. And we're gonna run a command called gpresult, okay, /r. So what this is doing, this is a GP group policy results. Actually, before we do the /r, let's do a /question mark. So you can see exactly what is going on in this command. And you can actually play around with some other things in here as well. But essentially a GP result, this command line tool displays the resultant set of policy information for your target user computer. And you can pass all these parameters right in here. All right. So you can see a /s, u, p, x, f, r, v, etc. and exactly what you want to do. So you can actually run this command against other computers remotely on the network. So even though I did say run it directly on that computer, you can actually do this remotely, but you'll have to pass the relevant credentials into there. So let's say you've got a user out on your network and you cannot get access to them. Well, you can actually run it remotely. If you're a domain admin, for example, with domain admin rights to that computer, you can also pass the user and the password to be able to remotely execute this command on their computer. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a /r to display that RSOP summary data. Okay, so let's do that again, /r and press enter. So it's creating a bit of information, and here is the results. All right, so this is a summary of exactly what we saw on the GUI form, but I find this a little bit easier because I don't have to go and do all little drop downs and try to figure out exactly what is going on. Right from here, I can see straight away what is going on. So I can see that my domain controller is my DC Servo 1. Hey, that's good. If you're running this on a computer and it can't even connect to your DC, it's not going to be able to pick up your group policies. All right. You can see some other information around the applied group policies, default domain group policy, default domain policy, and our logon message. Here is some information about what is going on. This computer is part of the following security groups. Here is a list of all the security groups that it's a part of. Under user settings, so this was computer settings. Under user settings, under our same location, hey, here I am, users, Australia, gives me a bit more information around that. Domain type is Windows 2000. Well, it's not really, it's a newer version, but anyway. And some other policies that are applied. And this is a member of these security groups. This user is part of these security groups. So you can see right in here what group policies have been applied to this particular user, all right? To this particular account, computer, and to this particular user. Now, something else that I would recommend when it comes to the command line itself is if it's having trouble, let's say you've just deployed a brand new group policy, push it out, and it's not picking up that group policy. You can go into that command line and see exactly what's going on, but you can also force the computer to talk to the group policy object, to the actual domain controller, for example, say to it, hey, I want the latest group policies. What's going to happen by default when you create a brand new group policy, you push it out to your fleet, not every computer will pick that up straight away. It will take some time. You can change this stuff, but essentially the computers will authenticate, will talk to the domain controller, say, hey, here I am. The DC goes, yep, here you are. Here's some updates. You won't do it to all the computers at the same time. So what you can do is right from here, you can actually force the actual computer to try to talk to the group policy. So back into here, we're going to right click, run as an administrator. Now, of course, if you are running as an administrator on an end user computer, it may ask you for some credentials. You put in those credentials that have got full admin rights to that computer. gpupdate /force. Here is a good command, gpupdate /force. Group policy update /force. So this is going to now updating policy, it's going to force that computer to go out onto the network, talk to the domain controller, and get any domains, any group policies, that have updated, any group policies that have changed, any new group policies. It'll then download them. User policies have been successfully completed. Group policies have been completed successfully. Now, if that has failed, you've got another issue that you need to go and figure out and sort out. But if it is completed successfully on both of those, you should now then be able to go and run the gpresult again and see if it's picked up the group policy. All right. So that's how we run the gpresult to see what is going on, and then how to update it or force the computer to talk with the group policy, update it so that it gets all the latest objects and updates that have been done via those group policies.